I'm gonna start this video off with the fact that the Iron Giant makes a cameo in this movie. Yeah, the Iron Giant himself. That immediately brings the movie up a few points for me. Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland is the new live-action Disney movie directed by Brad Bird. He's honestly one of my favorite directors at this point. This guy is the best at storytelling. The Incredibles, Ghost Protocol, The Iron Giant, my favorite animated movie. Yeah, safe to say he's awesome. He's known for being a really good storyteller, and guess what? He hasn't lost his storytelling ability one bit. So in Tomorrowland, we have Casey Newton played by Britt Robertson. She's a typical chick, but she has a really creative mind. She never gives up, she stays focused, she's determined. She's really cool. So one day she comes across this pin, and upon touching it, she sees this big magical place where possibilities are endless. So she meets up with this guy Frank Walker, who's played by George Clooney, and this young girl named Athena, and both of these people seem to have a lot of knowledge about this magical place, so they're gonna figure out how to get there. There's a lot more to the story than that, but I'm not gonna give it away. The acting in this movie was completely superb all around. We all know George Clooney is a great actor. He was awesome here. Britt Robertson did a great job, although she did overact a couple of times, but she's still just as likable as I thought she was in The Longest Ride. The young girl who plays Athena, her name is Raffi Cassidy. She really impressed me. Not only was her character really cool and really important to the movie, but her acting was pretty damn good. I hope she gets more work. Hugh Laurie is in this movie. When I saw him in the trailers, I was like, is he the bad guy? I didn't really know for sure. He is, but the way he portrays his character is just fantastic. I ended up loving his character too. Now, in looking at our most recent live-action fantasy Disney movies, Cinderella, Maleficent, Oz, the Great and Horrible, the visual effects in those movies were unimpressive to say the least. The CG creatures were so obviously fake, it annoyed me. In this movie, the visuals were a lot better. They weren't perfect. There were a couple of scenes where I could tell the actors were in front of a green screen, but they were never as bad as like Cinderella's. You can tell the artists really took their time. They cared about this utopian world that they were creating. It was really futuristic in that retro kind of way. I know I just contradicted myself, but believe me, it makes sense. I could definitely tell that a lot of love was put into it. And I don't mean just the visuals, I mean the entire movie. As I was watching this movie, I had that rare feeling I get whenever I watch The Iron Giant. It made me feel like a kid again, you know, with that young curiosity. I know that's what everyone is saying about this movie, but that's because it is true. This movie took me back to Disneyland, not just because it's named after one of the sections of the park, but because it has Walt Disney's incredible, innovative style all throughout. It's impossible to miss, and it's awesome. The Disney spirit is still alive. Tomorrowland is a spectacular accomplishment in storytelling, which is no surprise because it's Brad Bird. The best thing about this movie is how perfectly the story was told. There was one scene towards the end that felt like it was dragging a little bit, but once that scene was over, it was back on track. I'm pretty sure it's not getting a sequel, but if it were to get one, I would totally be on board. I love this movie. I want all my friends to go see it. I want everyone I know to go see it, and I want you to go see it. In fact, I would say, go see this movie right now. And Michael Giacchino's score in this movie was so damn hummable. Wow. It is a pretty generic score. Like, it sounds pretty much like what you would think a score to a movie like this would sound like, but it's still great. So have you seen Tomorrowland? What did you think about it? And what is your favorite movie directed by Brad Bird? He hasn't directed too many movies. Which one's your favorite? Whatever it is, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.